Want to come in and take a seat so we can begin? As I have said before, I always say that on Yom Kippur, all times are approximate except when they're not, and that will be later today. Waiting for Rabbi Gorbin. There's an old Carlebach tune called Essa Einai. I lift my eyes to the mountains. What is the source of my help? And if you know it, we really want you to join in. Otherwise, the person who wrote this tune, his name was Shlomo Carlebach, was really big on la-las. What he was saying is something that other people in other religions know as well, that there's something really, really powerful about singing. Singing, and I'm not a therapist, so I cannot judge the scientific quality of what I'm about to say, but singing dissolves self-consciousness. If you sing enough, you forget the fact that you may even be feeling not so great at the moment. It levels you out, it centers you, it integrates you. So that's why the la-las are very, very important, even if you don't know the words. It goes like this. Essa einai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. Yes. Wait. People aren't even have their book open.
Page
140. That would help. Right, Canna Berman? Always.
Unless they want the na-na-nas.
Essa einai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. Essa einai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Essa einai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. Essa einai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Please turn the page and you will find the blessing for Torah study, and we're going to study one short piece of Mishnah, rabbinic literature, at the end of this blessing on 142.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. The English together. Blessed are you,
Adonai our God, supreme power of the universe. You sanctify our lives with mitzvot and give us the sacred obligation of learning and living Torah.
So turn to page 147. If you haven't been to Jewish school for a while, we always talk about do a mitzvah. Now, when I was growing up, do a mitzvah meant something. Oh, get your mama fresca. She's thirsty, right? But a mitzvah actually is more than getting your mama fresca from the fridge. A mitzvah is literally one of the things that we're supposed to do from Torah. And if we know we're commanded from Torah to do something, we would kind of like to know when we have done it sufficiently, right? When have we done it enough? When have we fulfilled the obligation? And this Mishnah, which is expanded in a Talmud piece that we like to do all the time, is actually the first time where we're told there may be mitzvot that are so important to human living that they have no limit. You could never truly fulfill them. So let's read it together in English on 147. There is no limit to the fulfillment of these mitzvot.
Leaving the corners of your fields for the needy, giving to God the first fruits of your harvest, gathering with the community for festivals, acting with kindness and loyalty, and striving for knowledge of Torah.
So if you turn to page 156 and 158, you'll find this marvelous set of prayers. I talked about it in Rosh Hashanah, blessing for body and soul, and our dear, dear friend and teacher Debbie Friedman interwove them. And so you have to make a choice now. You have to choose, do you want to follow the text for the body? That's 156. Or the soul, 158. wherever you are in that choosing, both of them will come together. And we're going to start with the 158 text, Elohai, and then Kenneth Berman will weave the body into the soul so they can be together as they were always meant to be. So we're on 158. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bihi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bihi tehorahi. Ata verata, ata yitzarta, ata nefata bi ve'ata misham rabekimi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bihi tehorahi. Now, since we're not feeding the body today, we'll read one of the readings about the soul. If you turn the page, together on 158. Pure, my God, is the soul you have given me.
You formed it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me. You keep it safe within me. Someday, when the soul returns to you, I will find a place in eternity. But as long as Spirit breathes within me, I place before you my thanks. Eternal my God and God of my ancestors, Creator of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Baruch atah Adonai, asher b'yado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol basar ish.
The next 3 pages contain the daily blessings of the morning, the daily miracles of the morning. I like the one where we wake up. Waking up is a really, really good thing, as we like to say, better than the alternative. The beautiful thing about Judaism is you can do these blessings with Cantor Berman, and you can just say Amen and get full credit. It's a great religion that way. Amen is a powerful piece. As a matter of fact, there are those who say it is not a blessing unless there is someone to say Amen for it. So I commend to you the best blessings of the morning for the daily miracles of life starting on 160.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechvi v'ina levchim ben yom u'ben layla.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, bokeach ivri.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, atir asuri.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufi.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shesali Korshoki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten hayav koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheina me'enai u'dekromav papai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani b'chorim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael v'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen. Turn to 164. And last week we chanted the Baruch She'amar. This week we'll do it in English responsively. Look at the English in the middle of 164. Blessed is the one who spoke the world into being. Praised is God.
Praise the one who is ever creating.
Praise the one who creates with a word.
Praise the one whose vision is made real.
Praise the one who loves the earth.
Praise the one who loves earth's creatures.
Praise the one whose worshipers know goodness.
Praise the one whose life and being last forever.
Praise the one who rescues and sets free. Blessed is your name. Together,
our sovereign, we praise you with songs of celebration. Your oneness is the life of the cosmos. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal b'tishbachot.
So look at the next page. It's Shabbat, so we get to do part of Psalm 1 So actually, we saw some, not one, just 92, silly rabbi. And this beautiful passage, Tzadika Tamar Yifrach, the righteous shall blossom like a date palm. And there's this beautiful setting. Are we singing it or am I singing it? Am I singing it? Oh, yes. Ellie's looking at me like I'm crazy. Yes. I have this. You have, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So this tune that I'm going to play on guitar was not written for guitar. It was written more than 100 years ago by a man named Louis Lewandowski. At a time when everything was bright and open and possible, he wrote so many things in major keys. Only after the advent of the new century, the 1900s, and war came, our melodies turned a little bit darker. But this is such a beautiful melody. If you know, join in. Tzadika Tamar. Tzadika Tamar Yifrach Ge'erez balvanon yizkeh shetulim bevet Adonai b'chatzot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun b'seva d'shenim ra'anim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo havatabo. Please turn the page for the responsive chanting of Ashrei.
Ashrei Ashrei Vetecha, Od Yalelu Chasela.
Ashrei Am Shekacha Lo, Ashrei Am Sharanai Elohai.
Tehillah l'Revir, Haromimcha Elohai HaMelech, V'avarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed.
B'chol Yom Avarchecha, V'halala Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed.
V'atol Adonai U'ulal Be'or, V'liktu L'to En Cheker.
Dor L'dor Yishabach Ma'asecha, U'vorotecha Yagidu.
Hadar Kavod Hodecha, V'divrei Niflotecha Asicha.
Ve'zuz Norotecha Yomeru, U'gulatecha Asaprena.
Zecher Avtuvacha Yabihu, V'tzidkatecha Yiranenu.
Chanun V'rachum Adonai, Erech Hapan U'gdol Chased.
Tov Adonai L'kol, V'rachamav Kol Ma'asav.
Yoduch Adonai Kol Ma'asecha, V'chasidecha Yivarchucha.
Kevod Malchutcha Yomeru, U'gvuratecha Yidaberu.
L'odi L'bnei Ha'adam Gvurotav, U'chvod Adam Malchuto.
Malchutecha Malchut Kol Olamim, U'memshaltecha B'chol Dor V'dor.
Somech Adonai L'chol HaNoflihim, V'zokef L'chol HaKefufihim.
Einei Chol Elecha Yisaberu, V'ata noten lahem L'rochlam B'yito.
Poteach et Yadecha, U'masbir L'chol Chai Ratzon.
Tzadik Adonai B'chol Darachav, V'chasid B'chol Ma'asav.
Karov Adonai L'chol Korav, L'chol Asher Kra'u Ve'emet.
Retzon Yireyav Yaseh, V'et Shevatam Yishma V'yoshiyeh.
Shomer Adonai Kol Oavav, Ve'kol Reshaim Yashmin.
Tehillat Adonai Yidaber Pi, V'yivarech B'asar Shem Kachol Elam Va'ed.
V'anachnu nevarech ya, Me'ata v'yad olam.
Hallelujah.
Psalm 150. Hallelujah, El B'kodsho, Hallelujah, B'kiyavuzo,
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, B'gvurotav, Hallelujah, Kerov Gulo, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, take a shofar, Hallelujah, B'lechinor, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, tofu machol, Hallelujah, b'minugav, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. neshama, hallelujah, b'tzitzilei trua, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol neshama tehalel Yah, kol neshama tehalel Yah, hallelujah, 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 just you, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. This section ends with a phrase called shochen ad, if I can find it. Shochen ad is...
On page 103.
That's perfect, on 173. Hamelech Yoshev al Kisei Ram v'Nisa, majestic God, today enthroned beyond time and space.
שוכן עד מרום וקדוש שמו וכתוב לנו צדיקים בארוני לישרים נבע תהילה.
If you turn to page 175, in the middle you'll see the end, the blessing, the sealing blessing for this section. Baruch atah Adonai, el melech gadol batishbachot, el haodaot, Adon haniflaot, habocher b'shirei zimra, melech elchei haolamim. As you are able, please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish before the call to worship the Baruch.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביום וילון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן יהי שמרה במבורך לעולם ולעלמי עולמו יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמדקו לשם בריחו לעילם ולעילם יגמול ברכת ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה לאמירם בעלמא אמרו אמן.
Please turn the page for Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai.
continue on page 181, thanking God for the wonders of creation. We join together in the middle of the page. Like an unbroken current, energy streams from the source, bathing the planet in light, calling forth life, movement, mind unfolding from matter, the power to love. And we offer it back to you, our own creative energy, ever dreaming, building, shaping patterns out of chaos, searching out light in the darkness. Creation never ceases, not for an instant. All life is aglow with your light. All things draw sustenance from the source.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer hameorot.
Amen.
Page 183 in the middle, we offer this prayer responsively. All who are thirsty, come here for water. Drink deep of Torah, a fathomless well.
Seas spread out to distant horizons. Torah encompasses all of the earth.
Water revives and refreshes the body. Torah is potent, restoring the soul.
Soil and pollution swept away in pure waters. Immersing in Torah, the spirit is cleansed.
Earth's precious water, free and untrammeled, Torah is open and belongs to all people.
Mighty waters pour down like thunder. Torah is shared in a rainbow of voices.
Waters flow from the heights to the valleys. Torah will dwell in the humble of heart.
Raindrops swell into powerful rivers. Begin in your learning and wisdom will grow.
Fountain of gardens, wellspring of fresh water, words of Torah bring life to the world.
Our praise to you, Adonai. With love you offer Israel the gift of Torah.
Page 184.
Ba'avinu l'shalom b'kafot haaretz v'tolechenu k'miyot ha'artzenu ki el poel yeshuot ata uvanu v'chadsh mikolam v'lashon v'kireftanu l'shimcha hagados ela be'emet l'odot l'cha u'lechercha b'yahava Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'yamo Yisrael yahava.
Amen. Please rise as you are able for Shema and Baruch Shem Kavod declared out loud, page 186.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Please be seated. Page 188.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Turn back to 189. An interpretation of Ve'ahavta, when you love. When you love Adonai Elohecha, body and soul, these things I ask of you will be possible. To answer your children's questions about me and believe your answers yourself. To connect religion to your everyday comings and goings. For example, when you hug them in bed at night with tender words, Shema Yisrael, or when you think to say Modeh Ani in the rush of getting them up and out in the morning. To be alert enough to open doors for your children in every waking moment and when they dream.
And finally, to remember just why all these things matter. They matter because I, Adonai Elohecha, brought you and your children out of Egypt to be God for you. I am your God, and when you do these things, I will be your children's God.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Page 191. Nope, just kidding. Page 197. Who is like you among the silent, mute and inscrutable? You witness our pain. Once upon a time, the sea was split, and Israel marveled at your outstretched arm. How many have cried out since then, and how many have sunk beneath the waves? Centuries of innocent blood, lives lost to hunger, war, to cruelty or indifference, and those who died with your name on their lips. And they still perish in distant lands, and they still languish on our chilly streets. Your creatures are drowning even now, so why should we sing? Ever silent, hiding out in history, you have your reasons, or so they say. You left us on our own, so let us give you leave. Withdraw into yourself, withhold your saving power. And we will live on memories of joy, and stubborn and stiff-necked will cling to hope, and gather strength to fight the pharaohs when we must, and hold fast to freedom and celebrate in song, and vow that we will never be among the silent.
שיבחו גאולים לשמך, אספת הים, יחד כולם הודו וימלכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Please rise as you are able.
Israel, Kuma, Bezrat Israel, Ufedechenu mecha Yehuda v'Yisrael, Go'aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Page 199. I still don't know whom, I still don't know why I ask. A prayer lies bound in me and implores a God and implores a name. I pray in the field, in the noise of the street, together with the wind when it runs before my lips. A prayer lies bound in me and implores a God and implores a name. To the west when the sun sets, to the east when it rises there, to each spark that shows me the light and makes my eyes bright, to each worm that glows in the darkness at night, then it shall bring its wonder before my heart and redeem the darkness that is enclosed in me.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehillateka. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor VaHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכתבנו בספר החיים. Moshiach u'Magin. Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Page 204. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומינו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, מי כמוך, אל הרחמים, זוכר יצורו, חיים מרחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי הכל.
Please be seated. We continue on page 209 with an introduction to Untitled Chapter. Today we call it by its rightful name, a day of dread, Norah ve'ayom, unwelcome visitor, because we want to live in a sunny world where God is love and all endings are happy. But the drumbeat sounds, and the words tumble down, and even the angels tremble with fear. For all things are judged, and all things will pass, and life ends in a heartbeat, and death knows our name. At the start of the year, in the season of truth, comes a day of remembrance. For we all forget, and we all deny, and we all fall on our knees in the depths of our hearts, for we know that the bell tolls for us. The words are old and the language was theirs, but the call is real and the message is ours. Take hold of your life while you still have the chance, for your story will end, and it might be this year, in a way you don't know. Take hold of your life, make things right while you can, and don't miss the call of the day of dread.
וחוטאים וסופר ומונה, ותזכור כל הנשכחות, ותפתח את ספר הזיכרונות, ומאליו יקרא, וחתם יד כל אדם בו.
On page 210, we join together. And so a great shofar will cry, Tekiah.
A still small voice will be heard.
Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, Behold the day of judgment, for they too are judged.
In your eyes, even they are not blameless. All who come into the world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgments.
212.
Please join.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun. Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatemun, kama yavrun, echama yibareun.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun. Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun.
Mi yeh umi yamut, mi v'kitzo umi lo v'kitzo, mi v'esh umi v'mayim, mi v'cherev umi v'chaya, mi v'rav umi v'tzama.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun. Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun.
Mi varash umi varash, umi v'magifa, umi v'magifa. Mi varash umi v'magifa, mi v'chanika, umi v'sekila. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatemun.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun. Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun.
Mi yanuach u'mi yanuach, mi yashkit u'mi yetoraf, mi yishalev u'mi yitzer, mi oni u'mi yashir, mi yushpal u'mi yarum. Berosh Hashanah
yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun. Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yechatevun.
But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. page 215. We join together. And let us give ourselves over to the power of this day. And let us give ourselves over to holiness and awe. And let us calm the voice of dread and fear. And let us submit to the power beyond and within.
And let us take the path of sincere return. And let us give ourselves over to prayer of the heart. And let us feel the pull of righteousness. And let us give ourselves over to the still small voice. And let us awaken to the wholeness of body and soul. And let us awaken to the wholeness of thought and deed. And let us see in the darkness a doorway of hope. And let us give ourselves over to the power of this day.
216. We continue together.
We who are mortal, our origin is dust, and so is our end.
We wear out our lives to get our bread, like broken vessels, like withered grass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by. Mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. But for you, ever-living sovereign, time has no limits. Your presence, unbounded by days and years, is everywhere. A glorious mystery none can decipher. Your name is worthy of you, and you are worthy of your name. And our name you have linked with yours.
Please rise as you are able. Page 218.
Nekadesh, Nekadesh, Nekadesh et Shimcha b'olam, Nekadesh et Shimcha b'olam, Kishim shemakti shimoto, Bishmei Marom, Kakatu Arianecha, Vikarazel Zevi Amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzeva'ot, Elohe haaretz kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir, Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshiachinu, vehu Yashminu, Yashminu, vehu Yashminu berachamav, berachamav l'nei kol chai. Adonai Elohai Tzion, ledor vador, Hallelujah.
If you know the Lador Vador, please join in. Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Nagid God Lecha, Ulenetzach Netzachim, Ulenetzach Netzachim, Kedushat Hanakdish,
ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי הוא מלך גדול, כי הוא מלך גדול, וקדוש אתה לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש.
ברוך אתה אדוני.
Please be seated. We're so used to going right into the Baruch Atah Adonai part, but on Yom Kippur, on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we have an extended blessing of acknowledging God's holiness through a whole series of different ways. And so the first blessing the first part of that blessing is acknowledging God's holiness through awe. And we join together in the middle of the page. We join together on 223. To be awake is to be alive. Only that day dawns to which we are awake. One cannot help but be in awe when one contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. Wisdom begins with awe of the eternal. 224. And so in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, true joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see a beam of light in the darkness, a promise of perfection. Page 227. The righteous, they say, are invisible to all. Hidden and unknown, they live in quiet decency, hurting no one but suffering the pain of the world. Were it not for these 36, the sages say, the universe could not exist. If you think you might be one of the 36, chances are you're wrong. They labor in obscurity, bombarded every minute of every day by unbearable sounds from everywhere. The weeping of sick and hungry children, abused women, sad and wounded men, tormented souls who feel they're all alone. The 36 shudder, they cover their ears. They can't bear the anguish, the assault of tears, and their hearts break over and over and over again, and the bleeding never stops. But they are the righteous. They have to endure it every minute of every day so that the world can go on and the rest of us can live in peace. Page 228. V'timloch ata Adonai levadecha al kol ma'asecha. Together, you and you alone, Adonai, will reign over creation upon Mount Zion, home of your presence, and in Jerusalem, a city set apart by you. The psalmist believed the eternal shall reign for all time, your God for all generations, Zion. Hallelujah. Kadosh atav v'nora shemecha ve'en Eloah mibaladecha. Together, you are holy, your name is awe. There is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice, the God of holiness made holy through righteousness.
Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh.
Amen.
We turn now to the sanctification of the day, page 230, and we join together in the English. You chose us with love to be messengers of mitzvot, and through us you made known your aspirations. Among all the many peoples, you gave us a pathway to holiness. Among all the great nations, you have lifted us and made yourself our sovereign.
And so we seek you and serve you and celebrate our nearness to your presence. Your great and sacred name has become our calling. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום השבת הזה לקדושה ולמנוחה ואת יום הכיפורים הזה למחילה ולסליחה ולכפרה ולמחול בו את כל עוונותינו באהבה מקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים.
232. Together, our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace, on this day of atonement.
זכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה.
אמן.
ופקדנו בו לברכה.
אמן.
יושיענו בו לחיים.
Amen.
Eternal our God, remember us.
Amen.
Amen.
Be mindful of us.
Amen.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing.
Amen.
Favor us with words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with grace and compassion. Page 235. A teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. Your fellow human being is a mirror for you. If there is love and compassion in your soul, you will see the goodness in others. If you see a blemish in another, it is your own imperfection you encounter. Take careful note of the flaws you perceive in others. This is a lesson for you. They are your own flaws set before you, a reminder of your own spiritual work. We continue on the next page, joining together. God who is ours and God of our fathers and mothers, may our rest on this Shabbat bring you pleasure, and may lead us to holiness through your mitzvot, and may each of us find a portion of Torah that is ours. You bestow such goodness, teach us to be satisfied and to know the joy of your salvation.
Let your holy Shabbat be our heritage, embraced freely and with love. And may all our people bring holiness to your name by resting on this day. V'taher libeinu l'toratecha. Oops, sorry.
V'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu li'avdecha bemet. V'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu li'avdecha bemet.
כי אתה נצחן לישראל, מחלן לשבטי שורון, בכל דור ודור, ומבלעדיך אין לנו מלך מוכר וסולח אלא אתה. God, help us to serve you truly with purity of heart, for you are the forgiver of Israel, in every generation granting pardon to the tribes of Yeshurun. We have no God of forgiveness and pardon, but you alone. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mocha v'saleach la'avonotenu ve'la'avonot amo beit Yisrael, u'ma'avir hashmotenu b'chol shana v'shana, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh ha'shabbat v'Yisrael, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh ha'shabbat v'Yisrael, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh ha'shabbat v'Yisrael, Yom Kippur.
Together, you are blessed, Adonai, sovereign who forgives our failings and pardons the failings of your people, the house of Israel.
You banish our guilt from year to year. You reign in majesty over all the earth. You sanctify Shabbat, the people Israel, and the Day of Atonement.
Page 238.
Tefillah
Page 241. The patience of ordinary things. It is a kind of love, is it not? How the cup holds the tea, how the chair stands sturdy and foursquare, how the floor receives the bottoms of shoes or toes, how soles of feet know where they're supposed to be. I've been thinking about the patience of ordinary things, how clothes wait respectfully in closets, and soap dries quietly in the dish, and towels drink the wet from the skin of the back, and the lovely repetition of stairs. And what is more generous than a window? On the next page.
כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד וכטוב לחיים טובים כל בני בריתך וכל החיים יודוך סלע והללו את שמך באמת היה ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע ברוך אתה אדוני הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות
244.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו ברכנו בברכה המשולשת הכתובה בתורה המורה מפי הכהנים המקדשך כאמור יברכך אדוני וישמרך
כן יהי רצון.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך
כן יהי רצון.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישים לך שלום.
כן יהי רצון.
May God bless you and protect you.
Amen.
May it be so.
May you receive the light of God's kindness and grace.
May it be so.
May God bestow favor upon you and give you peace.
May it be so.
Continue with Sim Shalom, page 246.
Sim Shalom. Tova uracha ba'olam. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael amecha. Adonai, Oseh Shalom.
On the facing page is a poem by the person I consider the greatest Hebrew poet of the late 20th century. His name was Yehuda Amichai. And it's so compelling in its image. My child wafts peace when I lean over him. It's not just the smell of soap. All the people were children wafting peace. And in the whole land, not even one millstone remained that still turned. Oh, the land torn like clothes that can't be mended. Hard, lonely fathers, even in the cave of Machpelah. Childless silence. My child wafts peace. His mother's womb promised him what God cannot promise us. With thoughts of the possibilities of peace, thankfulness for your gifts and blessings, the hope of repentance and redemption, please take this moment in silent prayer. In the last part of her life, our teacher, our friend, Debbie Friedman, wrote an Oseh Shalom, which is haunting. But more than that, she adds the words Yoshvei Tevel, that we ask for God's peace not just for all of Israel, but for all who dwell on earth. If you know it, we invite you to join in. It goes like this.
It's on page 250 as well.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel In this prayer book, the prayers are in a different order than we're used to praying them. And so I want to go by our regular minhag, which is to pray prayers of slichot, prayers for our own confession and forgiveness before we read from the Torah. Those prayers can be found on page 293. We're starting on 293. Because I was angry, because I didn't think, because I was exhausted and on edge, because I'd been drinking, because I could be mean, because I was reckless and selfish, because I was worried about money, because my marriage was dead, because other people were doing it, because I thought I could get away with it, because I did something wrong, because I'm in pain, because I wish I could undo it, because I hurt him, because I lost her trust, because I let them down, because I was self-destructive, because I was foolish, because I'm ashamed, because that's not who I am, because that's not to be, because I want to be forgiven together.
God, bring down my walls of defensiveness and self-righteousness. Help me to stay in humility. Please give me the strength to do what's right.
Shema Kolenu is on the following page.
Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Chus v'rachim aleinu v'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu Hashivenu Adonai lecha v'nashuva Chadesh yameinu kekedem Chadesh yameinu kekedem Amarenu hazina Adonai bina chagigenu Ihul ratzonim refinu vegion libenu lefanecha Adonai tzurenu v'goaleinu Atashlichenu milefanecha V'ruach kadshecha al tikach mimenu Al tashlichenu li'etzikna Kichlot kochenu al tazvenu Adonai Eloheinu al tirchak mimenu Ki lecha Adonai hochalnu atatane Adonai Eloheinu.
Please turn the page and we read the introduction to the Yeshamnu together. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Ashamnu, bagadnu, gazalnu, dibarnu dofi. Hevinu, irshanu, zadnu, hamasnu, tafalnu shaker. Yatsura, kizavnu, latsnu, maradnu, niatsnu, saranu, avinu, ashanu, sararnu, kishinu oref, Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tianu, Tainu, Titanu. Together of these wrongs we are guilty.
We betray, we steal, we scorn, we act perversely, we are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander, we devise evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey, we abuse, we defy, we corrupt, we commit crimes, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray.
We turn ahead to page 300. Al chet shechatana lefenecha be'onos v'ratzon ve'al chet shechatana lefenecha be'yodim v'lo yodim.
The ways we have wronged you under duress and by choice, and harm we have caused in your world consciously and unconsciously.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bivli da'at ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha beritzat raglaim lehara.
The ways we have wronged you through our thoughtlessness and harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice.
Al chet shechatana lefenecha bechozek yad. The
ways we have wronged you by abusing our power, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביצר הרע, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בקשיות עורף.
The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and harm we have caused in your world through inflexibility and stubbornness.
ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בחשש ובכזב, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בקלות ראש.
The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בשיח שפתותינו, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בצרות עין.
The ways we have wronged you in our routine conversations, and harm we have caused in your world through envy.
Instead of reading the next listing of al chetz, I encourage you to go in a slightly different direction. On the gray pages, the left side, there are various confessions, short and long, personal and general. I'll ask you to take the next 3 minutes, which may sound long in a group silence, but it's only 180 seconds, not long at all. Dig deep. And we'll end this section by singing Va'al Kulam when you are done with your private and personal confession. And if you need 4, you can take 4. Turn to 310. If you were here last night, you heard me just give a brief mention of how, according to my dear friend and teacher, Aleha Shalom Mili Brichto, this poem, this prayer, is the essence of what theology is all about. Not about principles, but about relationship. And so, we're going to read the English first this time, and then sing the folk song for the Hebrew. Now, I want to say one thing. There are many people here, they look at the Hebrew, and they hear the sounds, and they say, that's not mine. The whole point of doing folk songs over and over again is so you can read the transliteration and make it yours. How many of you grew up singing Frère Jacques and not knowing a word of French? How many of you sang other songs in other languages? This is your language. So you might want to try to sing it to affirm this oh so wholesome connective relationship. our God and God of our ancestors, we are your people and you are our God together.
We are your children and you are our father, our mother.
We are the people who serve you and you call us to serve.
We are your community and you are our portion.
We are your legacy and you are our purpose.
We are your flock and you are our shepherd.
We are your vineyard and you watch over us.
We are your work and you are our maker.
We are your beloved, you are our lover.
We are your treasure and you are the one we cherish.
We are your people and you reign over us.
We offer you our words and you offer us yours.
So forgive us, pardon us,
lead us to atonement.
The Avinu Malkeinu before the Torah services on 252, before we rise. If you were not here last night, I said that there is a machloket. A machloket means a righteous argument. Can you say Avinu Malkeinu on Shabbat when you're not supposed to hak God so much with all of our needs and all of our woes? And we found from my teacher, Rabbi Mark Wachowski, who is professor of Talmud at our rabbinical school, that it is true the Ashkenazi world does not do Avinu Malkeinu on Shabbat, on Yom Kippur. But the Sephardi world does. And I, as Mara Da'atra, as rabbi of this place, for the sake of this prayer, for today and this moment, I declare us all Sephardim. So we're going to say Avinu Malkeinu. Please rise as the opening of the ark. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice.
252.
Avinu Malkeinu chatanu lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu chamol aleinu ve'al olaleinu v'tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu kaladever v'cherev v'ra'av me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu kalikol tsar u'mastin me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu kotvenu b'sefer chayim tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu chadesh aleinu shana tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu malei yadenu mibirchotecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings.
Avinu Malkeinu harem keren mishichecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our eyes behold the dawn of redemption.
Avinu Malkeinu na al tishivenu reikam milfanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we pray, do not turn us away from you with nothing.
Avinu Malkeinu kabel barachim v'ratzon et tfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it.
Avinu Malkeinu aseh manu leman shemecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu aseh lemancha im lo lemanenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake, if not for ours.
Avinu Malkeinu en lanu melech ela ata.
Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu petach sharei shamayim letfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer.
Avinu Malkeinu shma kolenu chus v'rachem aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, treat us with tender compassion.
Avinu Malkeinu chonenu ve'yanenu ki ein banu ma'asim aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. Avinu Malkeinu, Aneinu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Aneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim, Asei banu, tzedakah v'chesed, Asei banu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Aneinu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Aneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim, Asei banu, tzedakah v'chesed, Asei banu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshienu.
Please remain standing, as in a moment we're going to bring out our Torahs. Please turn the page for the beginning of the Torah service. If you have been honored by holding a Torah for a hakafah, the Torah parade out into the congregation, please come forward now. If you are reading Torah for the second service, Philip, Hannah, Emma, Sophia, and Sophia again. If you will all come up now for the beginning of the Torah service on page 255.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, v'ein k'ma'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'kol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Avarachamim eitiv avirtzonecha et Tzion. Tivnei cholot Yerushalayim, Tivnei cholot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad v'tachnu, melech Hiram v'nisa, Adon olamim. Adonai, Adonai, Erachum v'chanun, Erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, notze chesed l'alafim, notze avon v'fesha, v'chata v'naki. Adonai, Adonai, Erachum v'chanun, Erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, notze chesed l'alafim, notze avon v'fesha, v'chata v'naki. Adonai, Adonai, Erachum v'chanun, Erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, notze chesed l'alafim, notze avon v'fesha, v'chata v'naki.
In the middle of 256.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu.
בשמיים ובארץ, לכבוד בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה, ימין נעשה לכל לראש, לך אדוני הגדולה, הגבורה והתפארת, והנצח וההוד, ככל בשמיים ובארץ, ככל בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה, ימין נעשה לכל ראש. Keep going out all the way. Betty, keep going, keep going. Go! Go after the doors. שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. על התורה
ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים,
על שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. Ali oxen free. Everybody remembers that one. שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. We got one more. Is that it? Okay, when she closes the ark, everybody can sit down. If you were here last night, I wonder what this Torah portion starts out as. I wonder if it says like Atem Nitzavim, like we said last night. It does say that precisely. The Torah portion that we're going to do is in your prayer book. We are using an excerpt, not the entire text that is in your prayer book. It is found on page 266. We are honored to have students who actually want to read Torah well beyond their bar and bat mitzvahs, and so the first one is going to be Philip. We also do group aliyot. We have people who want to come up to the pulpit for group acknowledgement and blessing. And so if you have moved to Pittsburgh within the last 7 years, why? In Jewish time, 7 years is a generation. It's a time from age 6 to 13 when you're bar mitzvah. If you have moved in the last 7 years, please come on up so we can honor you with an aliyah. In the last 7 years. I know a bunch of you have moved here recently. There you go. Come on. Oh, and if you moved back, we'll count that too. If you were born here and you moved back, we'll count it. Look at all these young people there. It's wonderful. Nobody in the back there. Okay. If you moved here in the last 7 years, we want you to come up. You did move back. And they kept coming. You moved back. Wonderful. Okay, Simon says 2 steps. 1, 2. Get close to the Torah. Hello. Are we ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed. You be the keeper of the blessing.
Amen. Atem netzavim hayam kochem lifnei Adonai Elohechem rashachem shivtechem ziknechem v'shotrechem kol ish Yisrael tapachem neshechem v'gercha asher bekerev machanecha mechotev ezecha ad shoev meimacha La'avracha bivrit Adonai Elohecha uv'alato asher Adonai Elohecha koret amcha hayam.
You are standing here this day, all of you, before Adonai your God. Your tribal heads and your elders and all of your officials, your magistrates, every person, every man in Israel, along with your children and your women, and the stranger who resides within your encampment, from the one who cuts the water to the one who cuts the wood. Excuse me, you can't cut water very well. Who cuts the wood to the one who hauls the water. At this crossing over into the covenant of Adonai your God, along with all of its warnings that Adonai your God is cutting with you this day. Okay, hold it up. Come on, there we go. Come on, Doc. Baruch Amen. Eloheinu Elohei HaTkufot, our God and God of all of the eras of our people. Pittsburgh is a place that absolutely loves the old. It wants that you know where Isley's used to be. It wants you to know everything that ever happened from the Mazeroski's home run on. But you who have moved here are new blood, new ideas, new vision, and new inspiration. We need you so much. We need all of you and everything you have to give our community in general and this community in particular. Thank you for coming here and praying with us, being with us, and inspiring us with new ways of thinking, even if we didn't want to change in the first place. As together we say, Amen. Say Yesher Koach really, really loud. Now here is the way it works with Group Aliyot here. You might have more than one. So if you got your education, Andrew, at Temple Sinai, if you got your religious school education here, please come on up. And there are some people here who got there in the 50s and earlier. If you got your education at Sinai in the 40s, Edgar, come on up. There you go. If you got your religious education here at Temple Sinai, we want you up here. Yes, I remember. I still run by your confirmations picture every week. Come on up. Josh, Harold, you're wearing that toss. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. Look at all these. Look at the people that we've taught. Unbelievable. Jamie, how's everything at Wedding Central? Oh my. Oh, there's room up here. You can come up here. Hi. Welcome back. Hand in hand. Simon, Shimon Omer. Simon says 2 steps. Come on. 1, 2. Susie, come on. Come on. Andy, come on up. Andy, you stand by me. Come here. You first confirmation class at Temple Sinai. 3rd, okay. You're not that old, are you? No. Oh, and I see Ross is coming. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at all these. Okay, guys, I hope your vision's good. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vahed. Amen. In honor of your wedding, you hold the blessing.
Amen. Leman hakimotecha hayom lo le'am v'hu yelechak le'Elohim ka'esher diber lach v'ka'esher nishba le'avotecha le'Avraham le'Yitzchak u'Yaakov v'lo etchem lebadchem anochi keret et habrit hazot v'et ha'ala hazot ki et asher yishnei po Yishno po imanu emed hayom lifnei Adonai Eloheinu v'et asher anenu po imanu hayom.
In order to establish this day that you will be God's people and God will be for you as God, just as God spoke to you, just as God swore on oath to your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And not with you alone do I cut this covenant along with all of its warnings, but I cut it with those who are here with us today, standing this day before Adonai your God, and with those who are not even yet standing here this day. Hold that up. Come on, Jamie. Baruch. Amen. Before my little blessing, Andy Weiss is from the 3rd confirmation class. Anyone got her beat? For me, but she was from the 3rd, like, ever here. So, Elohei HaMasoret HaKadosha, O God of our holy tradition. Everything everyone here learned, a seed was planted inside them, and they took that seed out into the world and let Torah blossom wherever they were, in foreign countries, in different states. And they learned here not only their basics, but they learned that Torah cannot be contained by a room, a class, or a building. Every one of them knowing that Torah has to be lived in the world, and they are living Torah. And we thank them for the Torah of their eyes and their heart and their hands, and the Torah of their mouths that they speak when they speak truth, and they remember the things from long, long ago that they were taught. Because the truth of the Torah does not change, even as we do, only our perception of it does. May our Torah ever grow within us, and may we be blessed by your teaching that you learned here, as together we say, Amen. Can we have a really loud Yesher Koach for them? Thank you. Now don't go. If you have ever been in a Jewish youth group, that's Nifty, USY, BBYO, Young Judea, Habonim, any NCSY, if we have any escapees from the Orthodox movement here. If you've ever been in a youth group, a Jewish youth group, we want you up here. And by the way, Israeli ones count. Tell them Noar, Hashomer Hatza'il, you radical you. You were in youth group? What youth group were you in? What? No, I'm just happy. I'm just happy. What? Yes, it's called NIFTY. It's North American Federation of Temple Youth. It's reform. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Santa, I haven't seen you in a long time. You look wonderful. Oh, look at all these people. We're going to be falling off the pulpit. Come on up. Now, there's plenty of room. Samantha, Hadley, come on up here. Come on. Be by me. Mara, Lisa, you're up here. Come on, come on. Guys, there's a whole space right up here. You can sit. You can sit. It's okay. And those who can't make it, we cherish you anyway. There has to be, guys, Hadley, move here. Come on, here. Don't make Amy fall. It'll be bad, even though it's fall. No, it's a bad joke. Edgar, what youth group are you in? Oh, you were in a youth group. Hi. Okay, there's room here. Move in, move in, move in. We have a visiting rabbi here who thinks I'm crazy for doing this kind of thing, right? I'm sure. Where's Ellen? Where's Ellen? There you are. Okay. Okay. Now, if you're near the edge, you have somebody hold on to you, okay? And if you need to be on the steps, be on the steps. Allison, what youth group are you in? BBYO, of course. There we go. USY. I'll ask you in just a minute. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bar. Baruch Adonai. Amen.
hamitzvah hazot asher anochi
267 verse 11.
metzavcha hayom lo nifleti mimcha velo rechoka hi lo bashamayim hi lemor mi yalelanu hashamayma v'yikache halanu v'yashmienu ota v'nasena lo me'ever leyam hi lemor mi yavar lanu el ever hayam v'yikache halanu v'yashmienu ota v'nasena ki karov elecha hadavar me'od beficha ulvevacha la'asoto.
For this mitzvah, this commandment that I'm commanding you this day, is not too marvelous for you. It is not too far away from you. It is not in the heavens, that you might say, who will ascend heavenward for us and take it for us and cause us to hear it, that we might do it? It is not across the sea, that you might say, who will cross over for us across the very sea and take it for us and cause us to hear it, that we might do it? No, it is very, very close to you. It is in your mouth and in your heart to do it. Let's hold it up. We want Susan to see it too. 1, 2, 3. Baruch. You don't even need it. Amen. Eloheinu Elohei Adorot, O God and God of all generations. Every one of the people who is standing here, whether it is NFTY, the Reform Movement, USY, the Conservative, NCSY, USY, Young Judea, Habonim, Hashomer Hatzair, you radical leftists in Israel, all of you, you know that doing what is beyond the classroom was the gasoline on your spiritual fire. It is what caused the flames to leap up in your heart, that you knew that you could be more than what you repeated on a test or learned as a fact. You knew that that fire needed to be taken out into the world, a place that is desperately in need of light and warmth and love. You found that in youth group, and I dare say that for many of you, you still remember those days, whether they're late night Havdalah ceremonies or song circles or deep conversations till 3 a.m. All of that impelled you to become the person, the neshama that you are today. May that blessing not just be of memory, but you may share that memory and actualize it into a future for the next generation that desperately needs hope and inspiration and will find it in you. As together we say, Amen. Can we have a big Yesher Koach for them, please? Thank you. And it gets very exciting because you don't know what the next one's going to be. Okay? If you have any official title in Jewish leadership, like Merrill Ainsman runs the Federation, get up here. And there are people on our board, and there are people who are officers of Na'amat and Hadassah and all kinds of wonderful organizations, and National Council of Jewish Women and Brotherhood and B'nai B'rith and all kinds, and Israeli organization, advocacy organization. If you are leadership in an organization, we want to honor you for your leadership. I'm calling you up, not out. It's a good thing to call you up, right? Look at all these youth groupers. Hello, Sophia. Re'eh is right there. It's the beginning of the... If you headed our Tikkun Olam Center, if you headed our Neshama Center, if you headed any of our incredible leadership administrative committees, whatever it was, leadership. Rabbi Perman. Look at this, Rabbi Perman. Good to see you here. Rabbi Perman, Rabbi Lewis, walk up to, come on to the front. We need room. We have so many rabbis, we could gang convert people. We could just... Okay, there's Lisa Lederer, and there's David Aaronworth. Hail the American Jewish Committee. I don't know if you can see. Where's the other one from over there? You got it? There it is. Come on, Mara, you're a leader. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu. Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed. I'm a Jewish mother with a hat. That's why I'm Vaed. Baruch. Hold it for her. Yes, just hold it. I want you holding it. Amen.
Amen. ראה נתתי לפניך היום את החיים ואת הטוב ואת המוות ואת הרע. אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך, ללכת בדרכיו ולשמור מצוותיו וחוקותיו ומשפטיו. וחיית ורוית וברכך אדוני אלוהיך בארץ אשר אתה בא שמה לרשע. ואם יפנה לבך ולא תשמע, ונידחת והשתחווית לאלוהים אחרים ועבדתם.
Please me. Now see here. I have placed before you this day life and good and death and evil, and I am commanding you this day to love Adonai your God with all of your to love Adonai your God and walk in God's ways and observe God's mitzvot, God's ordinances and God's laws, that you might live and increase, and Adonai your God will bless you, just as Adonai your God, in the land that Adonai your God is leading you into to come into to take for your own. But if your heart turns and you do not listen and you reject and you bow down to other gods, dependent clause, ellipsis, pause until the next aliyah. Don't you want to know what happens? Baruch. Amen. In Hebrew, the word minhag is a custom. Customs are instituted by manhigim, those who create, those who lead others, those who drive the process, those who have new ideas and energy to go from the brain to the hand, from the heart all the way to the fingers. Every one of you has done this, and we are the beneficiaries of your love. We are blessed by all you have done throughout your careers. We are blessed by all you have done in every area of Jewish life, that you have made richer by your presence, that you have made fuller by your commitment to the values that you know we stand for as Jews. You are dugmaot. You are living role models. When Reb David, son of Sarah, was asked what Torah he learned from the Baal Shem Tov, he said, I didn't learn any Torah from him in words. I watched the way he tied his shoes. We watched the way you stand, the way you walk, and you are worthy of emulation. Every one of you a model for us. Every one of you a leader. And thank you for your services. Together we say, Amen. Say Yesher Koach to them. Now this next one is just a little challenging. We don't know how many people are here today. We'll see. I don't know if you were here last night. If you have been here with me for the whole 30-year voyage of our time together, come on up for your aliyah. To affirm the 30 years of relationship that we have had here at this synagogue. Come on, Jack. Traffic jam. Plenty of room on this side. Plenty of room on this side. Hello, Nancy. Hello, David. Oh, hi. Hello, Rick. Hello, Amy. Okay, there's plenty of room up here. Wherever you see purple, you can stand, okay? There's purple right here. Stand here. Come on up. You're used to being in front of people anyway. Come on, this is your métier. This is it. Simon says 2 more steps. 1, 2. There we go. Oh my gosh. My heart is full. All right. This is for Harold in the back. This is for Jack in the back. There you go. Hold it up tight. We're 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed. Amen. And by the way, there are those who are part of that 30-year cohort for whom getting up the stairs is not really a possibility, and I honor them and I bless them as well.
Amen. Higareti lachem hayam ki avod tovedun lo tarichun yamim al hadama asher ata over et hayarden lavo shama l'risha haidoti lachem hayam et hashamayim et haaretz hachayim et hamavet natati lefanecha habracha ve'kala uvcharta v'chayim leman tichya ata v'zarecha lahava et Adonai Elohecha lishmo v'kolo udav kavod ki uchayecha ve'orech yamecha lashevet al hadama asher nishba Adonai lavotecha lavraham leyitzchak liYaakov latet lachem.
When we last ended our last episode, we were in the middle of a dependent clause. So come here so you can see this. If you bow down to other gods, then I declare this day that I shall surely doom you, and you shall not have your days lengthened on the land that you are crossing over the Jordan to come into and take possession of. I will witness against you this day, heaven and earth, life and death do I place before you along with blessing and curse. Choose life that you might live, you and your offspring with you, loving Adonai your God, hearkening to God's voice, clinging to God, for God is your very life and the length of your days, that you might live upon the land that God swore on oath to your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob to give to them. Excuse me. Come here, Doc. You hold this. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Amen. Elohei Hashanim, O God of the years, the fire still burns. It burns of caring and faith and friendship and love and challenging times and delightful times. It's my hope and prayer that we go on. It's my hope and prayer that our flames grow larger, not to destroy us, but to warm us. And that we always remember how dear we are, having started this journey together, having made it this far, and knowing that we are not yet done. As together we say, Amen. Big Yesher Koach to them, please. Yesher Koach. And please help each other down. Get a buddy. Use a railing. I'm a Jewish mother with a hat. That's all I am. First confirmation class for mine. What a journey. Let's roll it. Just cover it. Here, I'll get the cover. We say a Mishaberach for those who are in need of healing. As many of you often hear me say, I am particularly taken with those who are in hospitals and terrified about what might happen in the next day or so, or what they've already been through. And I think of those who are in nursing homes who are facing this weekend without even one visitor. And I think of those who walk the earth with a stone on the heart or face the daily battles of sobriety. I fear that if I asked you to call out names, we would be here for an hour, because there's so much pain in the relationships that we have, the people we care about so much, our children, our parents, so many. So we'll simply sing for all of them. And we're not going to sing what I'm going to put down my guitar, because, no? Oh, mix up there. Achet shechatati, on the sin that I have sinned for missing page numbers for 30 years. I haven't gotten a page number right. Please sing with me, or let the music wash over you, or simply respond, amen. Mi sheberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say amen. You know, when I came here, I considered myself kind of egalitarian for about 27 years, until she said to me, "Why do you get to lift the Torah all the time?" I said, "Oh, silly rabbi." So if you are able, please rise for the Hagbaz, the Torah is lifted on high. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. 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 Please be, wait, she's going to sit down now. Okay, you can sit. The Haftarah today is Isaiah 58, is the greatest social justice sermon ever. I'm going to invite Ellie Greenwald and Susan Blackman to come up. They're doing the blessings before and after. Abigail Salisbury, where is she? Oh, there she is. You can find this incredible sermon on page... on page 277 in your prayer book, your High Holiday Machzor. And again, 14 verses. When we rabbis go on and on about social justice, they should just read this. This is really what it's all about, and it'll be done after the appropriate blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nbi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divrihem hani emarim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher bar Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'Vi ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen. Now, if Isaiah was tall and redhead, it would sound like you right now.
Okay, perfect. Cry from the depths, says God. Do not hold back. Lift up your voice like the shofar. Tell my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin. Yes, they seek me daily as though eager to learn my ways, as if they were a nation that does what is right and has not abandoned God's law. They ask of me the right way, eager for God's nearness. They say, why did we fast and you do not see it? We afflict ourselves and you do not know it. Because even on your fast day you think only of desire, while oppressing all who work for you, because your fasting is filled with strife, and with callous fist you strike. No, your fasting this day will not lift up your voice before heaven. Is this the fast I desire? A day to afflict body and soul, bowing your head like a reed, covering yourself with sackcloth and ashes. Do you call this a fast, a day worthy of the favor of Adonai? Is not this the fast I desire, to break the bonds of injustice and remove the heavy yoke, to let the oppressed go free and release all those enslaved? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and to take the homeless poor into your home, and never to neglect your own flesh and blood? Then shall your light burst forth like the dawn, and your wounds shall quickly heal, your righteous one leading the way before you, the presence of Adonai guarding you from behind. Then when you call, Adonai will answer, and when you cry, will respond, I am here. If you remove the chains of oppression, the menacing hand, the malicious word, if you offer your compassion to the hungry and satisfy the suffering, then shall your light shine through the darkness, and your night become bright as noon. Adonai will guide you always, slake your thirst in parched places, give strength to your bones. You shall be like a well-watered garden, an unfailing spring. From you they will rebuild ancient ruins, lay foundations for ages to come, and you shall be called the one who mends the breach and brings back the streets for dwelling. If you cease to trample Shabbat, stop pursuing your affairs on my holy day. If you call Shabbat a delight, the holy day of Adonai honored, and if you honor God by not doing business or speaking of everyday matters, then shall you take pure delight in Adonai. I will lift up your journey on earth to the highest of places and nourish you from the heritage of your father Jacob. For thus spoke Adonai.
She's tall. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik bekol hadorot, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה ועל יום הכיפורים הזה, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, למקילה ולסליקה ולכפרה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומבכים אותך. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני.
Baruch Shemo.
מלך מולכל וסולח לעוונותינו ולעוונות עמו בית ישראל, ומבהיר אשמותינו בכל שנה ושנה, מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש השבת וישראל ויום הכיפורים.
Amen. Yesher Koach, how lovely. Thank you. We're going to proceed to place the Torah back in the ark. And I think that what we're going to do, Alan, is I think we're going to do what we did before. If you turn to page 291, you'll find Eitz Chaim. I'm going to ask you to rise as the ark is open. Chazikim ba v'tomcheha me'oshar derachehan darchei noam v'chol netiroteha shalom hashivenu
Had you met him as a young adult, you never would have guessed that he'd become one of the leading rabbis of his generation. And had you met him a few decades later, you'd never imagine that he had once earned his bread through violence and crime. But such was the life of Rabbi Shimon bar Lakish, better known by his nickname, Reish Lakish. According to tradition, Reish Lakish, who lived in the Roman-ruled land of Israel during the 3rd century, started his Torah learning as a young boy, probably around his teenage years, when the rebellions start. He rebelled against his family and his community and left his studies to become a gladiator. Instead of spending his time sharpening his mind, learning a trade, and starting a family, Shimon sharpened his sword and started to fight for sport and for his life. Now, gladiators tend not to have such a long lifespan, what with all of the maiming and killing taking place. So Shimon left his career as a famous gladiator and began a new endeavor, as a thief and a bandit. Lying in wait by the open roads between villages, Shimon would hope for easy prey to come along so he could take their valuables. And if they were lucky, the travelers would end up alive. One glorious day, Shimon waited for his next opportunity, and he noticed a beautiful woman bathing in the Jordan River. So taken by her looks was he that he leapt from his hiding spot and landed in the water right next to her. Except it was actually one of his classmates, Rabbi Yochanan. Turning to the interloper, who had interrupted his nice bath with such an incredible feat of agility, Rabbi Yochanan exclaimed, "Your strength would be more appropriate for studying Torah. And your beauty would be more appropriate for a woman," retorted Shimon, because clearly, these are good retorts. "Well, in that case," replied Rabbi Yochanan, "if you return to your study of Torah, I will give you my sister's hand in marriage." What a deal. Shimon agreed, returned to the Beit Midrash, the house of study, and applied the same diligence and precision that he had learned as a gladiator and bandit to his new endeavor. In time, he became one of the most respected scholars, even surpassing his teacher and friend, Rabbi Yochanan. Reish Lakish was known for his insistence that issues be explored from every single angle and for his thoughtful and thorough legal decisions. He was wise, and he was logical, and he was passionate. If by the time Reish Lakish reached prominence as a scholar and sage, anyone remembered that he had been a gladiator and a thief, no one would have dared to mention it. But the truth is, it seemed to be a non-issue. As the righteous and insightful Reish Lakish, it was as if Shimon the wicked and violent had never existed. Except that he had. And when Rabbi Yochanan, in a moment of frustration, commented on his friend's past, Reish Lakish's humiliation was so great that our tradition teaches that he fell ill and died. Which part of Shimon bar Lakish was the real, authentic part of him? Should he ever get to shed his past and be treated only as a great sage? Would he even want to? What would he do with the memories of the life he had lived and had left behind? And what if he hadn't committed crimes, but instead had just experienced years of difficulty and hardship that he didn't want hanging over his head? Would he feel differently about those years and how they fit into his later life? These questions have been on my mind for a number of years, ever since I met Rabbi Mark Borovitz, the co-founder of Beit Tshuva, a Jewish addiction treatment and recovery center in Los Angeles. Mark became a rabbi almost 2 decades ago after spending the first part of his adult life as a mobster, a gangster, con man, alcoholic, gambling addict, and thief. And that's from his website. He spent years in and out of jail, and in the mid-1980s, he even served a 2-year term in a state prison. It was there that he found strength, comfort, and most important for him, a sense of innate self-worth through his exploration of Judaism. I met Rabbi Mark in my 2nd year of rabbinical school when I had to explore a type of Jewish community that I had never been to before. I attended a Shabbat service at Beit Tshuva and spoke to him for a few minutes before the service started. Clearly, Mark is not shy about sharing his story. It's part of his biography on the Beit Tshuva website. Articles have been written, and he's even written a whole book about his journey from crime to religion called Holy Thief. Rather than seeing his past as a liability and trying to hide from it, or to hide it from the world, Mark has turned his experience into his asset. He writes and speaks about his process of tshuva, of repentance and return. He raises awareness of the prevalence and impact of addiction within the Jewish community. And he shows how Jewish text and tradition, especially our understanding of tshuva, supplement and complement addiction treatment and recovery. It took strength, courage, perseverance, and determination for Mark to reach the point he is at today. And he uses the story of his past to draw out the same qualities in his congregation of recovering addicts. No skeletons in the closet for him. He airs his dirty laundry and then guides people as they learn how to clean theirs. I firmly believe that the challenges we overcome and the misdeeds we learn from are the source of our greatest strengths. I have seen this again and again in our congregation of people who have experienced incredible difficulty and have come through with strength they never knew they had. In truth, each one of us goes through adversity of different kinds, some of our own making and some that come just from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And although these experiences do not have to define us, we cannot hide from them and pretend that they never happened. Instead, we have to address those experiences and find ways to integrate what we've gone through into who we want to be now and in the future. The idea of shalom, of wholeness and peace, comes from accepting our pasts, not suppressing them. I have to pause for a moment and note that one of the joys and terrors of sermon writing is that you don't always know what's going to come out. And sometimes conversations and events from the days and weeks before can strike an unexpected chord. It is, in fact, multiple stories in recent weeks of people struggling to integrate their pasts with their presents that prompted this sermon, which is a change from the sermon that I was writing on Monday. I hope that by sharing some of the adversity that I've experienced, I can, like Rabbi Mark Borovitz, help each of us realize the ways that we can turn past difficulties and failings into strength and blessings. I've mentioned before that when I was in high school, my parents were not particularly thrilled with the idea of me becoming a rabbi. I spent years pretending that the rabbinate was off my radar so that I could take advantage of certain opportunities, like attending my first choice college and participating in youth group conventions and trips. But those years were rough because I was afraid to be my authentic self in all areas of my life. There were days when the disconnect between how I presented myself to my parents and how I felt inside made it difficult to breathe. And it was an immense weight off my chest when I finally told my parents that I wanted to be a rabbi and had applied to rabbinical school. I learned from that experience how important authenticity and integrity are to me. What this means is that I measure how close I am to my right path by how much I feel like I live and act with integrity. What had been a weakness has since become a strength. Through this time in high school and college, I also discovered my own resilience, determination, and commitment. Those are good traits to have in a back pocket, and they reminded me that I had the wherewithal to overcome other challenges, especially those that called my values into question. It's formative experiences that are particularly useful for clarifying the values we feel compelled to uphold in order to feel whole, in order to feel shalom. As challenging as those early troubles may have been for any of us, they can be a wealth of information about ourselves, especially if we reflect upon that adversity sooner rather than later. We can learn about our priorities, what prevents us from upholding them, and how to use them as a compass to guide us to the right path. That way, when we're faced with another round of difficulty, we know where we're headed. No matter how far off course we end up, we'll have guides to help us find the way back. One of the blessings that came out of having an early experience of inauthenticity and finding my way back to integrity is that I'd already practiced being resilient and staying true to myself. Practice is really helpful. So the next time things got tough, I already had an inner core of courage and confidence that I could draw upon to get me through. Weakness became strength. And oh, how I relied upon that strength the next time trouble brewed, this time in my marriage and subsequent divorce. The details of what happened are not particularly important for us today, but suffice it to say that issues arose that caused me once again to question my integrity. Integrity, the trait I had committed myself to nourishing not 3 years prior. I won't say that it was only because of my earlier experience in high school and college that I was able to step back and see our problems for what they were, but I certainly drew strength and confidence from it. The tools and insights I had gained from that earlier difficulty helped me when a new challenge arose. There are times when I wish things had been different, and I know that there are things that you also wish could be undone. I wish that we could shed the pain and the memories and pretend like Reish Lakish that none of it ever happened. But the pain and memories don't actually go away, not for me and probably not for you. Instead, we can all choose to turn the adversity of our past into strength and blessing by acknowledging our struggles for what they were and how they have shaped us. How have your experiences of trouble shaped you? What strength and blessing have you drawn from those experiences? This summer, I had the opportunity to spend 2 weeks as faculty at Camp Harlem. One of the midot, the character traits that we tried to strengthen among the campers, was the midah of perseverance and resilience. We led a program for the entire camp focused around this idea and started it by telling the story of a person in the old country who suffered from great difficulty and made sure that everyone else knew how bad it was. After too long of dealing with someone who was so resistant to any suggestions for how to make life better, the community finally asked the rabbi for some help. The rabbi invited the poor sufferer over for Shabbat dinner and, please forgive me for talking about food on a fast day, asked the sufferer to wait a moment while everything started cooking. The rabbi had 3 pots of water boiling on the stove. Into the first one went some carrots, into the second went some eggs, and into the third went some cocoa powder. Then they went into the living room, sat, and talked. I could keep telling the story, but I have to interrupt it to paint the picture of telling it at camp. Before the program started, we had set up a fire pit with a grate over it, and we had put 3 big pots on the grate. And we had carrots and eggs and cocoa powder ready to go, so that when we got to the part where the rabbi puts food in the pots, we could drop ingredients into our own pots. The campers were captivated, and they strained to see what was going on inside the pots. And then we continued with the program as though we hadn't just left them with a huge cliffhanger. Throughout the evening, kids kept glancing over at the pots, wondering what was going to come out of them. Well, our poor suffering person shared tale after tale of woe, until finally the rabbi had to go back to the stove and finish preparing the Shabbat meal. As they walked back to the kitchen, the rabbi turned to the pots and then to the sufferer and said, each of these pots represents a different type of person. The carrots are crisp and bright when all is good, but when they get into hot water, they turn to mush. The eggs are delicate and soft when times are easy, but hot water turns them hard and unyielding. The cocoa, which is sweet but still has a hint of bitterness in its raw form, when it gets into hot water, it spreads its sweetness around and even loses that bitterness. Which are you? So which are you? A carrot? An egg? Cocoa powder? And which do you want to be? If I might be so bold, I would say that Reish Lakish was a carrot. He appeared strong and even survived some rough times, but he lost all ability to hold himself together when reminded of his past. Our poor woe is me sufferer was the egg who became inflexible and unyielding from struggle. Rabbi Mark Borovitz, however, strives to be the cocoa, taking his past and his difficulties and making them into something sweet that can bring sweetness to others as well. It is what I strive to do in telling you my story. On Yom Kippur, when we are asked to confront our misdeeds, mistakes, and struggles from the past year, we may wish to ignore what we have done or experienced, especially if it took place long ago. We may want to get over or leave our past behind. After all, it is old news. Or we may feel entitled to pity and attention because of what we have suffered. With both of these responses, the past risks our future. In the first case, our Reish Lakish carrot, the past lurks beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to undo all that we have worked for. And in the latter case, the woe is me egg, the past overwhelms the future and prevents continued growth and blessing. I hope that we are each hot cocoa, spreading to everyone around us strength and sweetness that we can derive from our trials and tribulations. What can we learn from our own benefit and for the benefit of others? And how can we turn the hot water we've been in into something even better? From situations that have absolutely nothing inherently good in them, what blessing can we eke out? To address these questions head on, to reflect on the sins and adversity of the past, is to turn our liabilities into assets, to turn curses into blessings. May we find the courage, the determination, the perseverance, and the resilience to turn all of our faults, misdeeds, and challenges into blessings of strength and sweetness. Keni Hiratzon.
Keni Hiratzon. Shikar. Just a couple of things now that we're midday. For those of you keeping track of your fast, you have 5.5 hours to go. You've broken the back. It's okay. You're going to be fine, especially if you stay here and don't go home and make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Or cocoa, apparently. So right after this, we're going to be making our way up to the chapel for the afternoon service. We do not know how many are coming to the afternoon service. It is the first time we'll have used Mishkan HaNefesh for the afternoon service. We are being accompanied by our master in Jewish chant, David Goldstein, who we've integrated his chants into this service, and we hope that many of you will come. We'll see if we have to sit on the floor, on each other's laps, we'll see, but we'll also have books up there. Leave your books here. We should have a rack of books up there for everyone. If not, we'll come down and get them. That is approximately 1:45, all times being approximate, except when they're not, of course. And so we will try to pray in an hour. We are going to read a quick Torah portion from Leviticus 19 and then get on to what Mincha has to offer. And then at 2:45, that's a hard time, we're going to have our Yom Kippur Bet Midrash. And Rabbi Gorban, come up here, stand by me. Don't just yell at me from across the room the way you often do when I forget things, which is a marvelous thing for somebody to do, by the way. But I'm going to be teaching with David Shribman. We're going to be teaching about Jewish values in the public square, how his work as a newspaper editor of the Post-Gazette and mine, how we get into challenge and conflict and where we draw our lines, but naming names of candidates and parties when we're actually trying to identify values and principles, and what is the Jewish take on that. Jared Cohn, former president of Carnegie Mellon University and a worldwide respected specialist in the area of water and water management, is giving a talk called PWSA Oy Vey. We have some problems with our water system here. B.D. Wahlberg is going to be speaking about how in the world do we make our inclusivity not just a value but a lived experience for those who are LGBTQIA, because we do espouse these principles, but sometimes it's hard when people walk into actual rooms and are not accepted as truly who they are. Ram Kosowski, our brilliant archaeological specialist, is going to be teaching what?
Jewish pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, I hope a better Caribbean than we're experiencing now.
One of my friends actually made a movie, a short film about it.
Jewish pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, and Rabbi Ellen Lewis, Dr. Ellen Lewis, is going to be teaching on the Hallelujah we sung, but not to the Psalm 150, but the words, right? Okay, and she has a worksheet on that to explore. It's almost a year. It's almost the art set of Leonard Cohen, that prophetic singer-songwriter, even if he didn't get the Nobel Prize like Bobby Zimmerman from Hibbing, Minnesota did, right?
And Rhonda Rosen and David Goldstein will also be holding their meditation and chant in the chapel.
So lots of things going on. There will be posters up. I hope there'll be posters up to tell us where things are.
There should be posters.
There should be posters up. So we're going to go to the last part of our service.
No, before that, we're going to say, my turn.
Yes.
And at 4 o'clock after the Beit Midrash.
Oh, please, I didn't even get to the important. I'm sorry, thank you.
At 4 o'clock after the Beit Midrash is finished, please come back here. We are doing a dramatization of the book of Jonah with the Attack Theater Company, with music that has been organized by Flavio Shamas. We're using different people from the congregation. It will be something very special, very professional, and really for all ages. So I encourage you to come and challenge your understanding of the book with maybe a different perception this time.
Between music, words, and dance, and the dancers are amazing. They're doing things I would fall on my nose in half a second, but the Attack Theater has reconceptualized the book of Jonah in a way that I could not even imagine. I did write a piece of music for it, and we're looking forward to having that experience. Now, the prayers for Shachrit don't end. We don't end until Ne'ilah. By the way, just to make sure that we know, about 5:15 is Yizkor, and about 6 or 6:15 is Ne'ilah. We'll end no later than 7:15. Believe me, we're committed to finishing no later than 7:15, which is at slightly after sunset. We will have a break the fast here. We will have Havdalah as well. Please bring your children to the Ne'ilah service so they can be up on the pulpit for Havdalah. If you have a shofar, please bring your shofar for the Tekiah Gedolah at the end of Ne'ilah. On page 318, we're going to go back one more time in front of the open ark for Hayom Te'amsenu. Your job is to sing Amen as loud and enthusiastically as you can. Hayom, 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 te'amsenu.
Amen.
Hayom, 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 tevarchenu.
Amen.
Hayom, hayom, more enthusiasm.
Hayom, hayom, hayom,
Hayom, hayom, hayom, tigad lereinu.
Amen.
Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, 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 t'rishenu letova. Amen. Hayom, 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 t'rivenu lechaim tovim. Amen. Hayom, 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 tishma shabbateinu. Amen. Hayom, 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 t'milchenu b'min tzidkecha. Amen. Wait. At the Yizkor Ne'ilah service, our marvelous intergenerational choir is going to be singing as well, lifting our spirits with their voices, and we hope that you will come back for Yizkor for your own memories and for your own support of people who are in need to have their memories fulfilled through listening. I hope that you enjoy the day, because Yom Kippur is truly a joyous day as we are all hoping for our own repentance and forgiveness. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.